Kiwi, welcome back to another episode of Hades 1. This is our mirror setup for the day. Today we are going to be taking the aspect of Lucifer on the rail. We're going to go with silly build. My plan for today is we're going to take the Aphrodite keepsake. We're going to dedicate this episode to my mom, whose favorite god is Aphrodite. We are going to take a 20 heat run, taking max jury summons, 3 levels of extreme measures, 2 levels of benefits package, and middle management, or well, maxing them out. Underworld customs I do not want. Let's put on a damage control shield. 1 level should be fine. 1 level of hide and security is fine, and 1 level of tight deadline for a total of 20 heat with 1 extra damage control shield. There we go.
No turning back.
All right. So why am I dedicating this to my mom? Because my mom has said that Aphrodite is her favorite god in Hades.
It's just the edge I need.
Let's see. Targeting system, Eternal Chamber, or I could use Triple Bomb. Let's go. I think targeting system's probably the best, but Triple Bomb works pretty well for Lucifer. Let's take Triple Bomb and play with that. So the idea I have here is we are going to go hunting for Aphrodite's legendary. With her legendary, we can then make enemies fall in love with us and charm them. And we are going to do Lucifer's Laser of Love. And if that doesn't just sound like a really dumb gimmick build, I don't know what does, and that's exactly why I want to do it. We'll see how this goes. It's probably not going to be that incredible, but as with every Hades run, you never know what you're going to get until you get it. I've vocalized my reservations about considering Aphrodite one of the better gods in this game, because while she has some of the best base damage on her boon, that can be enough to make it matter. Not to mention Weak is extremely useful as a status debuff for when you're learning the game for keeping yourself alive. So I do think Aphrodite has some merit, but as you get better and better at the game, I want to take her less and less, because she doesn't offer us much more than her base damage, and admittedly some of her duo boons are pretty amazing. Like Smoldering Air with Zeus or Heartrend from Artemis, those 2 duo boons are amazingly powerful. Her duo with Dionysus is also pretty decent. But I never really think about Aphrodite as being the linchpin of my build outside of some very niche situations, which maybe aren't super niche considering those again are very powerful duos. And of course the damage that her cast does with the Haribo cannot be understated. So there are certainly some very good reasons to consider taking Aphrodite at any given moment. With all that said though, here's our first Aphrodite room. We are like 4 encounters in, and this is the first time we are actually seeing Aphrodite show up, or any god for that matter. We have not been well appreciated by the gods so far, admittedly. But I suspect we'll make that change. The question is, after Aphrodite, what do I go for? Because the special does have some decent damage on it, so what can I build into it? I mean, of course Artemis would probably be the best option. Like I said, Heartrend is just so incredibly powerful, so maybe that's the route we go. We go for Heartrend on the special, plus or minus Ares for just overall damage boosting, and could look for Dionysus for getting some hangover damage going, but I don't know if Dionysus works as well if he's not on the attack for loot.
Love spurs the heart to greater acts of valor, doesn't it, dearest?
Okay, so Afro, all right. Oh, and she's kind enough, she heard us talk about her in a positive way for a change, so she's actually giving us a 92% attack bonus on our attack damage there, an epic tier attack boon. That's lovely. Now, I think I'll probably take the shop here. We're looking for some more god boons, although I don't really know who I want. Oh, Athena, you know what? Athena would be pretty good on the special, honestly, because we can, we block a bunch of projectiles that way. It's pretty funny. So lowest damage on the special versus her call. I think her special, because it's funny. It makes us be able to just drop things on the ground and deflect projectiles all the time. I think we can handle Charon here. We'll take him on.
Look at me.
Then we can afford more fun boons on the final floor. So, as far as, Mom, if you're watching this, hey, shout out to you. For full context, this isn't my biological mother, this is my adopted mother from grad school. She, basically, it seems no matter where I go, someone ends up adopting me as their child when I travel around places, and it's usually just someone who has a vested interest in not letting me kind of fail as a fundamental human being. For that, I appreciate your existence, Mom. This is the mom who let me experience for the first time alongside Kiwi. Well, not the first time, but this is the mom who allowed me to experience for my first time The Bachelor, which is an experience, not really my cup of tea, but again, there's never a bad time to just watch an absolute dumpster fire of human interaction. And for that, I appreciate it. We got to show Kiwi the Bachelor for the first time. I think it definitely wasn't Kiwi's cup of tea, which I think is no one's surprise, but it is so fun watching someone who is invested in this sort of a show enjoy it for what it is. And that's honestly probably the best part about watching it with Mom, is just seeing how excited she gets about the character interactions and the sheer, like, why would a human want to do this? Why would a human say this sort of vibe that The Bachelor seems to promote? I think the notion of if you see humanity at its worst, you can feel better about yourself is an accurate way of describing the enjoyment gained from watching a show like this. I am flipping into these like I really shouldn't be. All right, this should finish Charon if we can just pop those. Nope, no. Oh, he pushed me into those. That's, oh, okay, I get it. So that's the downside of Charon doing his little AoE stun attack. Because normally that doesn't hit me, or that doesn't do damage. But if he stuns you when he's using the projectiles, okay, that was rough. I wonder if Aphrodite, or Artemis, my goodness, Athena can reflect those projectiles. It's a question I'll have to ask for another day, but Meg will pop this armor really quick and we can very easily just melt this boss. Look at that HP go away.
You'll be back.
What are you waiting for? Let's get to hunting then.
But just watching Mom get excited about things like Shrimp Gate and Champagne Gate, which just on their own, like even with description, they just sound so out there, so kind of wildly crazy. I can't help but laugh. Like, apparently the Bachelor community gets very passionate about those things, but all right, let's see. What boon do I want here? We need to take one of her core boons for getting Heartrend, so it's going to be either the call or the aid here. Probably take the call. I think I'd want to hold my aid for something a little bit stronger later. I'd love to take pressure points if I could, but yeah, I think for now, let's go with the cast. That'll set us up for Heartrend very nicely, and then we can go from there. All right, and then a palm for the attack sounds great. That'll easily get our damage modifier over 100% at that point, which, oh, free chamber. Awesome.
Gods grant me strength.
All right, 20 more damage, 20% more damage on the attack is lovely. But we're running a casual run. Yeah, I'm down at Death Defiance, but that was Charon, so I am fine. And we have Athena in the run. Like, she's going to give us more Death Defiances. Let's go ahead and take Aphrodite here. Athena doesn't offer us anything in the way of damage, whereas Aphrodite at least could offer us some tier 2s that make us more likely to get her legendary. Actually, let's see what we need for her legendary, because I don't know off the top of my head. Empty Inside, Sweet Surrender, or Broken Resolve. Ideally, we get Sweet Surrender, because this makes weak enemies take 10% more damage. That's definitely the ones that I think would benefit us the most, but Empty Inside is a precursor, so we'll take that for now. Our weak effects last 7.5 seconds longer. They're basically never going to run out at that point.
No one in our family can avoid taking sides forever, Zagreus. But you can take the more sensible side at least.
Honestly, Athena, if I was picking sensibility, I would pick you, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for gimmicks. We love gimmicks. But let's keep talking about The Bachelor. I guess, like I was saying, like there are, like I am an outsider looking in on this one. There is so much that I don't know and don't necessarily want to know or understand, frankly, because it is a trip seeing someone get so passionately involved about anything. I just remember, I think her name was like Shanae or something, or oh gosh, she was like the angry. It is impressive how she turned an entire house filled with women against her.
I'm satisfied we understand each other better now, don't we? What do you say we carry on and get you from this place?
Like, I don't fully understand her character arc, and forgive me for this, Mom. Like, we watched that show together a long time ago, but it was my first introduction, and I don't necessarily keep it fresh in my head for I think reasonable reasons. Like, it's hard to maintain memories of something you see for the first time, other than like the very like strong emotional responses, you know? And I think the strongest emotional response I had was how funny it was to see one person be the target of so much hate, mostly through her own action. It did not seem unjustified that she turned an entire group of women against her, but it's kind of scary how angry these people get. So for context, the episodes that Mom and I watched were specifically, I think it's called The Women Tell All or something, which is basically their recap episode where they get all the characters. I call them characters. I mean, they are basically characters after a certain point.
I like the fire in you, Zagreus, and I have every confidence you'll someday clamber from the shadows there into the light.
They get all the characters, for lack of a better term, back together. Hold on, actually, let me think about this. What do I want here? I would like Zeus's call, if nothing else, but I guess I could settle for his dash. That gives us a core boon. It sets us up for duos with everyone in the pool. Of the gods with calls, Aphrodite's call would be kind of funny because it's another way to charm enemies. But I think it only charms them. No, it charms them if it's not fully charged, actually. So, yeah, let's get as much charm as we can. We'll go for Aphrodite's call, because when am I ever going to use it normally? We'll take the dash. We'll take the dash. That sets us up for some other Zeus boons later. Sisyphus, we don't really need anything from Sisyphus. We have plenty of gold. I would like the darkness, but I think the keys are better for re-rolling, potentially for Aphrodite's legendary, so we'll do that. Anyway, so, oh gosh, what I was saying. So, forgive me if I've gotten the name wrong, Mom. Names are going to be the one thing that I absolutely do not retain at all. But basically, my goodness, so the women tell all is basically they get all the women back together. At some point, the actual bachelor, the guy they're trying to swoon, shows up, and they have whatever host is in charge of the show kind of asking them questions and having little highlight reels of major developments, either in terms of character growth, character development, again, calling these people characters because they do not act like human beings sometimes. Like, they have legitimate real emotion and proper responses to things, but in other instances it's just like, it's reality TV. It's like, it's this weird dichotomy of it is genuine, like, human response, but it is so fabricated based on the setting that they create to make things as stressful and negative and entice negative interactions as much as possible. Like, I watched a very interesting documentary recently that kind of explores the layouts of reality TV sets and how they are deliberately designed to create conflict. I don't remember the name of the video, but I might link it in the description if I remember to. It was a fascinating study of how
Got one. It's a skilless ion.
intentionally poorly designed architectural and
Cheers for the discount.
not just in poorly designed architecture, but poorly designed, or like intentionally poorly designed layouts for recording things
Senses sharpen.
can lead to human conflict.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
But the point I want to bring is mostly just like, these are not, even if these are like the genuine like responses of these people in their setting, there are certain degrees of outside influence that leads to a partially fabricated, what phrase this, like, this is not how people would be forced to normally interact. It's not how people would develop certain or have certain interactions, have certain outcomes, if it weren't for the setting they were placed in, I guess is what I'm trying to get. And I imagine that the vetting for these characters for The Bachelor
The world's power.
is also based not just on conventional beauty or conventional attractiveness, but also personality quirks.
Is Tartarus some sort of joke to you?
It is. Hades, it is a joke. It really is. Let's see. I guess Artemis, we'll take the Artemis keepsake. We'll look for Heartrend. We mostly want just more Aphrodite, but we're not being given it. So we'll force Artemis so we can at least get some good stuff. And hopefully we'll see Aphrodite. We are set up now for Aphrodite's legendary, so hopefully we will see that sooner than later. This is not a run where we need to sell anything, so we just keep on trucking along. We're not the fastest, but our ramping damage did do up to about 1,000 damage after we got all our shots on. So we're dealing reasonable DPS. Again, Aphrodite has a lot of damage. He just also doesn't have much after the damage initially.
Erebus, here I come.
Why I have my reservations about her boons. We're gonna take the Erebus Gate here because another Zeus boon is great.
You have my attention.
And if I fail, it's not the end of the world.
Pay your dues.
So I still need to fill out the codex for the Red Onion, which we're only going to get if we fail Erebus Gates. And if you fail an Erebus Gate, you have to try an Erebus Gate, right?
Okay.
I'm going to keep dropping my specials out because these will reflect projectiles from enemies. It's only these kind of bomb throwers that can even throw projectiles in the first place. But the fewer I have to deal with while I'm kiting around these enemies would be great. It'd also be cool if maybe I could blow up my specials. I'm trying to aim for them, but auto-target just says enemies only, apparently. I'd say our damage is pretty decent. Okay, so anyway, back to the Bachelor a little bit. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make is I don't think I can justify this setting being the main reason
Short work.
Nene earned the hate of so many of her peers. I think she went out of her way to undermine and like 5D chess these women, and it's hilarious to me that she could be like so, I guess, callous and uncaring for the sake of winning.
Majesty.
Which means she must have been really fun to watch.
My own, hun. But I wouldn't mind if he was here.
Like, I'm going to be honest, I do not watch reality TV. The closest thing I've ever had to reality TV in my lifetime was Total Drama Island back on Cartoon Network, if anyone remembers that show, which I think it had a pretty fairly...
That's good.
It was pretty fairly popular, I believe, when it was airing, although I have no sense of what was popular and what was not on Cartoon Network beyond my friends, my immediate friends group talked about it.
And darkness. Good, I'm not too late. Got here as quickly as I could.
All right, then give us some HP.
Let's get things started then.
My brain is still in like I can't take any damage mode from Erebus, which is definitely not the case. I am free to do as much as I please, or free to die as much as I please, I guess. Anyway, so what else is there? Man, I don't know. So basically, it was the episodes, the 2 episodes that I have seen of The Bachelor were both Women Tell All, and basically, just it is kind of amusing to see how these Women Tell All episodes devolve into just a bunch of women screaming at each other to the point where it's like, okay, we're gonna go cut to a commercial break because we need to take a deep breath and maybe reset a little bit.
Fast, I'll give you that.
Like it's on a streaming platform, so there aren't really ad breaks, but you could tell like it's like we need to we need to fade to black, and just everyone calm the heck down for a second. But then they just bring up more like controversial moments in the show that are gonna prompt more like extremely loud, aggressive fight scenes, and like it is overwhelming at times. Like I think the first one didn't get me. The second one we watched together with Kiwi did, where everyone was just so angrily arguing over each other. It was like I am an unwilling bystander to a like family dispute at a dinner table sort of thing. And it was like weirdly uncomfortable. Like don't get me wrong, Mom. Like I enjoyed it, and I was loving watching how much you were enjoying it. I think we take the Artemis room. Maybe I should have gone for the shot for the chance for Aphrodite to show up, but this is a high tier Artemis room, and I can deal with Mega Gorgon as long as she doesn't teleport away. I should be able to reflect her I reflect her projectiles. Okay, let's get the. I'm gonna try and get the. What's it called? I've already forgotten it. Skull Crusher? Yeah, Skull Crusher. I'm gonna try and get the Skull Crusher to spawn on top of her and hopefully hit them both with Meg. Okay, cool, we got him. So Mega Gorgon is popped and Skull Crusher is going down now. Cool, got him. Nice, not bad. Well, took a lot of damage, but ooh, a epic tier hunter's mark is amazing. 56% chance to crit after our first crit. Gotta love it. And we're gonna see Hermes now. Things I want from Hermes is his attack boon. His attack speed boon would be cool, but of course rush delivery is always our goal. I don't know if there's strictly anything I specifically want beyond that after that point. More dashes would be good, I suppose, to keep me alive. But there aren't a whole lot of things beyond his typical, these are his best boons, why would I want anything else sort of option, I suppose. Anyway, so, lost my train of thought a little bit. Basically, it was a little overwhelming to see this group of, I think, like, is it 13? It's definitely a double digit, probably in the teens, number of women, just angrily pointing and shouting and getting very emotionally invested in the conversation that they may not have had a choice to be part of. Like, I feel like some of these people absolutely never want to see each other again.
What's going on there, boss? Are things all right?
All right, let's see. Hyper Sprint. Ooh, 30% attack speed. Does this work with Lucifer? Does it make my attacks tick faster, or does it just make my animation start up faster? I don't know, but that epic tier Hyper Sprint is so appealing. I don't think I'm gonna... I think I have to take it. Okay, let's see. Zeus or HP? I guess we'll take another Zeus. I may end up taking Zeus's call if he offers it here, because we got static discharge. We get double strike. His call is going to do so much damage.
Let's fight.
Me so used to playing Hestia, I tried to reload my weapon immediately upon entering the room. It's interesting. Lucifer doesn't actually make a audible reload sound when you try to reload it. So I don't mentally recognize that I am reloading, even if I am pressing the button. Anyway, okay, so what else is there to say about Bachelor. I don't know if I have that much more to say, because honestly, I think I am very much an outsider looking in. All I will say, Mom, though, is like, that was fun. It was fun. We may not necessarily want to do it again, but I wouldn't mind, like, next time I visit, watching another episode with you, just because, again, it is fun to watch you enjoy it so much. And I can't say that I don't enjoy it a little bit. We both know that I am also some degree of human trash. Urn of Ariadne. I think we'll take that. We've got plenty of coin. Let's take that, yeah. Suppose I can take the HP, too. That's relatively affordable for 46 HP, 23. Yeah, that's 2 HP coin. Worth it. Then here's the end shop. Hopefully we see Aphrodite. My dream of the laser of love can only work if Aphrodite decides to show up and give it to us, so... Mystery God, please. Okay, Zeus, you're really trying hard. We take his legendary, but it's only on his dash right now, so... We are using his dash a fair bit, so I guess that's not the end of the world, but... Anyway, I imagine most people who are watching my channel...
Lenny, if you'd like for me to kill you, hiss.
I'm supposing most people who are watching my channel have no passing interest in The Bachelor, and frankly, that is entirely justifiable. But the people who watch my channel that I immediately care about, they at least have an interest in what I have to say about The Bachelor, and that's worth it. That is absolutely worth talking about. Mom, Kiwi, I hope you're enjoying listening to this one, because it's interesting to reflect on something that, like, this is the thing, like, yeah, I would not in 1,000 years ever, like, actively pursue watching The Bachelor without a good reason. And I think there's no better a reason to indulge in something that is far outside the purview of your interests than sharing it with someone who does love it. Like, that's one thing I wish I could do more with my actual parents. I wish my parents, like, it's hard to get my parents to take an interest in the things I care about. They're definitely not interested in video games. They have no interest in animation. There are scientific topics that I could talk about with them, but my mom isn't really a science head, and my dad is kind of...
Bye for now, Lenny.
Let's just say my dad grew up a hippie.
No way.
And so there are interests that we share, but there's also a lot of stuff that he disagrees with that I personally agree with. So it's really hard to always talk about these things with them. That's why I appreciate Mom and Kiwi so much, because they do share a lot of my interests, and so it's so meaningful to have these conversations. And that's not to say that I can't share things I value with my parents either. It's just the things that I share with them are different from the things I share with my friends, I suppose is the best way to explain it. What do we take now? Let's see what's in the shop. Maybe I take Bone Hourglass.
That'll keep me alive.
I don't think I need a Death Defiance here, so we'll hold our coin for boons. I don't really care if I see more Zeus, but we have a lot from Zeus somehow. You know what would be awesome if we could get Smoldering Air at this point. So I guess let's take Zeus. We'll try and get Zeus's call. We can't get Smoldering Air until we have a God call. Honestly, maybe, I mean, if we get Aphrodite's call and get Smoldering Air, we can spam that call all the time. This is the problem I have with Hades 1, is that I have a hard time finding a keepsake I want to use after I get all my core gods on the table. Or, like, if I get to Elysium and I have most of my build, and I don't have, like, if I'm out of options for the duo, like, or legendary that I'm hunting for, I don't know what to take most of the time. I guess we'll take Chthonic Coin Purse, because then maybe I can afford something in Styx later. I feel like I'm going to be able to afford everything in Styx, so yeah, I guess we'll take that. It's not my favorite option, but it's probably the most sensible option in the... Could go for Palm Blossom and just get some extra levels on things, but I'm not gonna get that much out of Elysium. We'll get like 2 levels from Palm, maybe 3 at most. More likely 1 or 2, honestly, depending on our RNG for encounters.
The fields of Elysium.
All right, another hammer or an Athena boon. I think we take the hammer, and the reason for that is Aphrodite may show up be more likely to show up in Styx if I don't have things that would show up in Styx rooms. So if we don't take our hammer here, there's a reasonable chance the hammer shows up in Styx as one of our potential chamber options. So I want to try and lock in this, or get it out of the pool of things that I might run into. All right, let's see. Triple beam, attack pierces, or infinite attack. I don't think I take infinite attack. Piercing honestly sounds decent. Alternatively, triple beam could give me AoE with our current build, which would be nice. I think piercing fire is the way to go. That'll make it way easier to pop my my special bombs What have we got here? HP, I do not need HP. We'll take our second Hermes and hope for rush delivery. That epic tier hyper sprint will mean we'll have a lot of damage if we do in fact get his rush delivery boon. Actually, I guess the funny thing is if I did have Aphrodite's legendary at any point, I can just AoE charm enemies now with my attack, as long as they're lined up appropriately. I guess it's kind of appropriate that I talk about The Bachelor on the episode where I'm going an Aphrodite themed build, you know? Because it is just a bunch of people coming together with the goal of courting one man. And there is the Bachelorette as well, which is the male version of, or the male version where it's a bunch of conventionally attractive men trying to court one woman. I don't know, it's just like, it feels weird to have this much attention on one person, I suppose.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Let's see. We're gonna reroll once and hope for rush delivery.
A different set of choices.
50%, but you know what? That is still a lot of damage. All right, and then we're getting another Artemis Athena trial. See what we get from him. I think I'll take Artemis first. All right, so clean kill or Artemis's aid. Those are, I don't really want Artemis's aid. I think out of all the calls, that's the one I want the least. Let's see what else Artemis can offer us here. Okay, pressure points. Wait, no, we already have pressure points, don't we? So then what else could I gain from this? Let's see. Let's think about duos. I mean, of course, Lightning Rod with Zeus would probably be the big one I could think of. Heart Ren we already talked about. Anything else I want? Oh, wait, what am I saying? This is a trial. I can't get duos in the first place, so I guess we have to go with one of her tier 2s. I mean, support fire would be kind of funny, but that's probably about it. I don't know. There's not really much I want. I think I'll just take clean kill here and be happy with it.
I think we understand by now that when you test my patience, I shall test your ability to survive.
All right, Athena. Bring it on. Gonna pop your minions like it was no issue. Anyway, so where was I? So, yeah, I guess we did watch, we watched one clip from, what's it called? The Bachelorette, I believe. I believe it was The Bachelorette, and it was them having all the guys on the show try out the menstrual pain simulator, which it looks like it's just a TENS unit, like a electrostimulation unit type thing, which I have personally used. It's actually, I have a funny story about that. The reason why you use TENS units is usually for muscle pain. You what it does is it kind of forces the muscles to contract and relax, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I don't use it often. It's more of a Kiwi thing because Kiwi often has to deal with chronic musculoskeletal and neurologic based pain. And the TENS unit, to my understanding, was, or to my understanding, it forces muscles to twitch and relax, I believe. What I'm trying to say though is the story I have that's funny about it was I woke up with a really bad stiff neck one, because you know that's the joy of growing up. Go to sleep, you think you're safe, and then you wake up in pain to the point of potentially not being able to function. It's like
Conflict between the members of our family is inevitable, Zagreus. All we can do is learn and grow from it.
the joy of growing older is going to bed and not knowing whether you'll wake up a functional human being or not, is really what it boils down to. Oh, hey, Aphrodite and a high rarity, so there's a decent chance we could get her legendary here. I really hope we do. A butterfly ball is nothing to be worried about. We can pop that ball real quick. And wait for it to run away. And 3, 2, 1, bam. Easy peasy. Didn't even have enough time to summon her enemies, or her allies, rather. Easy. Okay. So anyway, so Kiwi was like, why don't you use the TENS unit on your neck?
I'll keep my soul for now, thanks.
All right, I think we reroll here because I think we can get her legendary now. Let me just double check. We may need 2 of her tier 2s. All right, no, we are set for getting it. So let's go ahead and use a reroll here and see if we can get it in 3, 2, 1, go.
No thanks.
And there it is, unhealthy fixation. Your weak effects also have a 15% chance charm foes for 4 seconds. On bosses, that is less. It's like just a brief second, but that's great. And there's Aphrodite again, so let's try and get her call if we can. Because I think that'll just be funny. We'll max out our chances to charm enemies. Okay, so anyway, so Kiwi puts the TENS unit on my neck. And then she forgot that, so for her, when she uses it at a pretty high voltage. So she forgot that she had left it on high and turns on the TENS unit, and my neck suddenly just starts like flipping, like twitching back and forth. Like I was because of how the TENS unit worked. I had no control over my neck. It was like I was trying to touch my shoulder with my ear. How much it was causing my neck to like bend to the left side. And I'm just like ow, ow, ow. Like so, the TENS unit kind of does a pulse of electric current. And so I'm just like, my head keeps bouncing to my shoulder going, and I go, ow, 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 ow. And then, like, turn it off, Kiwi, turn it off. And we both laughed about it, but that wasn't the best moment. And I have not used the TENS unit since.
Hear me on my authority.
I may have been slightly traumatized by that. Awesome. Sweet Surrender. Your weak afflicted foes are also more susceptible to damage. Now, I could re-roll here for her call. Actually, why isn't she offering her call, frankly? I think I do it. I think it's too gimmicky not to do it. Ooh, and it's an epic tier Aphrodite's Aid. Your call fires a seeking projectile that inflicts charm for 6 seconds. We're just gonna basically just spam charm in Hades, and he's not gonna be able to do anything.
Beats dying.
We're not doing a cast build, so that's fine. I think I probably will buy that Death Defiance and then take the damage up from Proclus. We have the coin. I think this is fine.
I can use this.
That was the benefit of taking the Chthonic coin purse on this. It basically bought us a Death Defiance, and that's more than fine.
That was an amazing day indeed.
Trying to let them listen before I go pop in their pots. Yeah, there we go. And away we go.
Hello, lad.
Hello.
I'm grateful for everything you've done.
Kind of you to say. We'll take the Cyclops Jerky Select, 60% attack damage for the next 10 encounters. And then I think we just keep trying to palm the attack at this point. Or Aphrodite's Egg. Did I just call it Aphrodite's Egg? All right. Look at everyone just getting charmed for us. Actually, the question is, can we charm multiple enemies? Because I saw that one get charmed.
Okay.
The 15% chance to attack, to charm every time. Is it every time we apply weak, or is it every time we hit them with a move that applies weak? Because that's hopefully it's the latter, because if it's the former, that makes it a lot harder to apply this effect. The other question, the real question is though, can you charm multiple enemies? All right, you're charmed. Let's see if I can charm one of these. Let's see if I can charm the butterfly ball. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think okay, so it does not seem to be as soon as we apply charm. So basically, we just charm everyone at all times, and they are our friends, and they fight for us. This is a silly build. You know what, Mom, I have to say, you had said Aphrodite's call would be fun. Or you had said Aphrodite's Legendary is your favorite reason for liking Aphrodite. Look at them all. They're all charmed because I have Piercing Fire. I hit all of them, and then they're just fighting each other. This is great. I don't even have to try anymore. They're just gonna... Can I just keep charming them and have them, like, take each other out? I'll have to try that in the next room full of enemies. But, like, they can't attack me anymore. This is a 4-second duration charm.
Good enough to eat.
They just lose their ability to play the game. None of these are really what I want to hit with the palm, but I'm not going to waste rerolls here because there are some duos that might be fun to get. So we'll take pressure points. Like, what I really want here is Zeus. Or Aphrodite again. If I get Zeus or Aphrodite, I can get their duo Smoldering Air, which will let me just spam Aphrodite's call like no tomorrow. But given the choice between Palm and Artemis, we'll take Artemis here. Not that, again, there aren't really many things that I want. I guess at this point, Lightning Rod and Heart Render are about all I could ask for. But, like, we melt enemies. What I would love right now is if I could get a trade from Aphrodite to trade her special, to trade out for her special, because I would love to have her special in this build. But it's seemingly very easy to get Hunter's Mark going at this point. We get one crit and everyone is marked with our AoE damage. Anyway, so the one episode that we watched was back to what I was talking about. The one episode of The Bachelor.
When shall they ever learn?
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. The one episode of The Bachelor that we watched, or sorry, The Bachelorette that we watched, was the women having the one woman having the guys try a menstrual pain simulator, and we just have these really confident guys like, I can take this, I can take what this is gonna do to me, it'll be fine. And then they're just like screaming and crying because of course a guy doesn't know what a woman's pain is like. And of course their overconfidence is going to be their untimely downfall. We're getting a duo? We're getting a duo. No, we're not.
Odd riverboatman Charon. Turns out he lusts for coin, and now I understand him well.
I always fall for that because each god only has one line of dialogue when you first acquire them, but they have a second line of dialogue if you get them from Charon. and I forget that. So when they pause to have dialogue, I'm like, oh, duo. And then we don't get it. I do think I'll reroll once here because there's a reasonable chance we could see a duo here.
What else?
And we don't, and that's fine. I guess we'll take the lesser Sweet Surrender. Weak afflicted foes are more susceptible to damage. That's a 10% damage boost, honestly, and our damage is on the attack, so that's... I'm not going to complain too much about that. I think I'll buy the heal here. I don't need more HP, more max HP, but I'm prone to taking damage on heroes.
A challenger? If you seek a swift and righteous death, you fiend, you've come to the right place.
We're going to pop Meg as soon as possible and drop our specials and try to break their shield before... I have the one downside to using Meg that I've realized, because I'm not used to it, is I'm just really prone to I seem to be... Oh my goodness, we dodged Asterius's... we can dodge Asterius's charge by charming him. We avoided that damage. Like, they are so confused right now. This is hilarious, actually. I just keep charging them and they're attacking each other. Oh, these poor heroes, they do love each other.
My chariot may be gone, but we shall rise again.
But Aphrodite loves me more.
Lord Ares, lend me your...
All right, they're stacked on top of each other. Can I charm him while he's doing this? There we go. Okay, now he's targeting... Look at that. They're targeting each other. This is hilarious. They can't do anything. They couldn't do anything through that fight. Oh, these poor guys. My goodness, that's hilarious. I'm so glad I got piercing fire.
Please hold your applause.
Like, I'm loving triple bomb, but imagine if we had like piercing shot plus triple fire, not triple bomb, triple shot. Like, if we are attacked at triple beam, that's it. If we had triple beam, like, imagine that. We would just AoE everything, and everyone would just fight each other. We are recreating The Bachelor in Hades right now. And I think that just, like, this is the perfect build to randomly talk about The Bachelor and to dedicate to Mom, right? What a nonsense build. I love it. I love it so much. That begs the question, though, what is our final keepsake for Styx going to be? Before I switch out, let's check the well. More movement, really, more move speed with rush delivery is pretty nice. So I think we're going to take the Bone Hourglass and hunt for Wells of Charon. This increases the duration of things we buy from the shops by 8 rooms. This is basically going to see its way all the way to Hades, which gives us a 10% bonus damage from just by virtue of it. Like there's unlikely a chance that we will take 16 encounters to find Hades. For context, each chamber in Styx is 4 rooms long. That would mean we'd have to have a maximum 4 chamber Styx. So there is a very reasonable chance that we can see this.
I'm rich.
Now the question is, could we possibly see another Aphrodite boon and end up getting her to trade out for Athena's special? If we do that and we have the funniest build. All right, there's Aphrodite right now. I don't think I take a... Oh, goodness, we get 2 Aphrodites. So this Aphrodite down here is a higher tier because it's more expensive. So we'll save that. We'll take this one first and see what she offers, and then we'll try and take the other Aphrodite. Also, Zeus being here means we could see Smoldering Air from either of them. And again, Heartrend is also a very decent option. I'm enjoying the support fire on the build too, because it's just firing. It's rapid support fire. Also love that our specials just instant nuke everything. Like, we have a surprisingly large amount of damage potential on this build, but we also have the stupidest gimmick, and I love it.
I can't.
Anyway, where was I? So, I don't know. After we did watch one other video, I forget, it wasn't College Humor, but it had College Humor vibes of someone like complaining about menstrual pain and then having someone else try the menstrual pain simulator, and she is just randomly turning it on. The scene ends with him being like, "Congratulations, you made it through a 9 to 5 with menstrual pain. You know what you get at the end of all of this?" And I was so hopeful that she was going to say 5 more days of the same thing. But she just said more paperwork, because the guy was working an office job doing paperwork the whole time. She is just randomly following him around the office, turning on the pain simulator. And obviously it does not, a menstrual pain simulator does not reflect all the things that a woman has to go through while she is dealing with that sort of thing. Like, there are a lot more than just pain that women have to deal with when they're oh my goodness, 4,500 damage from Aphrodite's call. Disgusting. Anyway, There's a lot more that women have to go through than just pain when they're menstruating. So parting shot, that is the least interesting of all the duos we could have been offered, and the one I wanted the least. But I guess it does do bonus backstab damage. Do I reroll here? I think we save the reroll for Aphrodite's, the higher tier Aphrodite in the shop. We'll take this duo.
Thanks, family.
That way it's not in the pool for later, because the higher rarity down here is more likely going to give us a duo. We'll take Zeus next. No Wells of Charon yet, which I would love to see if we could have one, please. Anyway, I don't know. I would have loved it if she said you have to do this for 5 more days, because that would have been even more accurate than you have to keep doing work despite having suffered through all this for the day. Like, both are funny, both are accurate and painfully accurate. But I think it would have been way more accurate if she's like, it's not over, keep doing this for the rest of the week, possibly 2 weeks if you're unlucky. I don't know. It's not something I will ever properly experience or fully understand. And I'm not going to complain if that's the case for personally, like, I could go my whole life without having a monthly routine of being in debilitating pain, you know? With all that said, though, what else is there? Like, I'm trying to think, like, Mom and I have also recently been watching, oh, hold on, nope, dialogue, okay. Zeus, why you gotta be stingy? Like, I'm not gonna re-roll here. Aphrodite is the big interest here. But we really got nothing from Zeus. I mean, he had so many things he could have offered us, and he gave us none of them, like, none of them. So I guess it's between Lightning Reflexes and Heaven's Vengeance, because we can use that to get some tier 2 boons activated from Zeus. We don't take the cast here because we want Artemis's cast. It's our best way of getting crits right now to get Hunter's Mark bouncing between enemies. So yeah, I guess they probably take Lightning Reflexes because it drops another Lightning Bolt. Lets us better use... Oh, it lets us better use the Zeus tier 2s that we've got. Alright, so at this point, is there anything else I want? Nah, I don't really care about the palms. Let's go ahead and buy this.
Just what I need.
Life Affirmation, Dying Lament, Wave of Despair, reroll.
Any other boons for me?
Heartrend. Okay, so we didn't get Smoldering Air, which I think would have been the funniest part of this build, but we did get Heartrend, so we're going to be critting really hard when we crit. Then,
let's break some hearts.
Honestly, I think it's better to just buy these palms at this point.
Of the gods.
Basically, doubling our static discharge damage sounds great.
Delicious.
And then a 10-second duration weak effect. I think we'll take Blinding Flash. This will make enemies take more backstab damage, which will probably be the biggest source of increased damage for us. Let's just go ahead and take the palm and see how much damage we can keep stacking on what we've got, and then kind of going back to what we were talking about before. This probably isn't the place to complain about menstrual pain in my... But I think it's at least... It's worth acknowledging that I certainly count my privilege on not having to ever experience that directly. That I get to deal with monthly eye pain, where I'm blinded for a couple days, or my chronic back pain, which I'm obviously... that could combo with other things. Like, I'm sure there are plenty of women with chronic back pain. I just mentioned Kiwi does, so that doesn't really downplay anything, that doesn't really change anything, but those are my chronic woes that I can complain about. I just don't have those on top of an additional monthly issue to contend with. Not to mention the... Never mind. The point is, it's not something I can ever fully understand. But I can certainly sympathize with the notion of you have pain that is debilitating and distracting and has effects around the body beyond just pain. There's...
Oh, what is this stuff?
There's a lot to it. And I don't know, there's nothing I can really do about that, sadly. But at the very least, when Kiwi is going through those moments, I support her. I make her tea. I bring her almonds and chocolate, which help make her get through the moments a little bit easier. Even if I can't appreciate it directly, I can certainly see that she's suffering, and I can do my best to try and help her feel a little bit better. I think that's the extent of what I can say there. Let's see. I don't really want any of these, honestly. I guess we'll go ahead and just take Clean Gill here. It's not a lot of damage, but it's a little bit more damage when I crit on attack. It's a little bit more damage when I crit on the special, and not much else, but that's okay. May as well take this. We do not replace... Oh my goodness. Athena wants us to not die. Unfortunately, we have full death defiances, so these are all useless, and there's no way I'm switching out the Aphrodite attack. I want to watch Zeus. Why do I always call him Zeus? I want to watch Hades never have an option to attack. Let's see. I guess we'll just take the epic boon because it looks cooler. It literally doesn't matter, though. We're not going to die.
The fearsome Cerberus accepts the satyr sack.
The real question is Hades going to have any opportunity to attack us at all, aside from when he clears debuffs with darkness and like disappears?
I'm back, Father.
Your rampage through my realm ends here and now.
Yes, we're gonna have some father-son bonding. Nothing like forcing your dad to love you, I guess. All right, I swear I was not trying to shoot his little thing, but auto target is rough here. All right, Dad. Oh, he's got his shield up. We'll just keep spamming these. I'll drop Meg here. Oh, I think I might have been a little too early. He's still gonna have his shield. Did I miss? My problem with Meg is that I'm very prone to trying to move while casting Meg, and the direction you shoot Meg depends on the direction you're trying to move. All right, hold on. Watch this damage on Hades in a second. We're gonna pop him with Aphrodite's Hall, and he's just gonna melt. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it shall be my pleasure.
We just one-shot that phase. Amazing. All right, I think. Let's see if Hades can even attack us if I just keep this attack trained on him. Not getting lucky with it's a 15% chance to activate charm, and yet we're not getting it. It's funny though, he just swings at whatever when he is charmed. I think I just have to alternate charm with attack, and he can't attack. He can't hit us. He's having a rough time. It's actually really funny.
I thought Achilles taught you to be quick.
Yes, but Aphrodite taught me to love. I just have to toss out the cast every time, or the call every time he decides to try and attack us, and nothing can happen. He's not allowed to damage us. That was fun. All right. Thanks, Mom, for suggesting this. And indirectly, you never said do this build.
How did you accomplish this?
But you made me think about the silliness that Aphrodite's legendary can cause, so very well worth it. Thanks for this.
See you at home.
Lasers of Love complete. What a silly build. That was fun. All right, let's get rid of Batty. Triple Bomb was pretty good, but I don't think that was the core of our build. Let's see. What was the core of our build? Let's remove everything real quick. And obviously Heartbreak Strike. I think we put Aphrodite's Legendary at the top. Where is that? Not Splitting Bolt, not Lucifer. I guess we'll put Lucifer there because he kind of was necessary for the build. You know, I'm realizing we got 3 legendaries this run and 2 duos, which is pretty funny. All right, Heartbreak Strike, Aphrodite's Aid. Then what is the final thing we honor? And I could put Splitting Bolt there because it's just funny that it's there. Heart Rend probably makes the most sense for this build. Now let's put Splitting Bolt. It's just funny. My brain will be upset if I don't move the purples down though, so 1 second. Splitting Bolt, and then Heartbreak and Aphrodite's Aid. There we go, 83 win streak, 115 clears. Not our fastest run, but a pretty fun run. I went for a gimmick and I got a silly gimmick, and I'm more than pleased about that.
So complicated is the path to the well-hidden cottage of Persephone that surface-walking Zagreus, on this particular occasion, sadly zigs instead of zags, plummeting from off a precipice into most familiar waters.
Zagreus, you should know better than that. Of course you should zag instead of zig. Your name is Zagreus. Your zagging is all that you're about, right? That's how this works. Bad jokes, I know.
Please, everybody, hold your applause.
No, I think they're all booing me right now, Zag.
If there's something I can do, you need but ask.
All right, new dialogue with Thanatos, always welcome.
Have to tell you, Zag, it's different with your mother around here. Don't mean to be so obvious, but it's something about your father, I suppose.
Maybe he's a little bit happier. Maybe all that pumping him full of love lasers has made him a little bit more affectionate around these parts.
I think they have a lot of work ahead of them. As long as they're trying, he's trying, I think I'm good with that for now. Though I am glad she's here.
I'm beginning to think we all are. And please don't take this the wrong way, but I think you and your father have a lot of work ahead of you as well.
That we do.
Oh, I entirely agree with that.
Nope.
She's doing all right.
No way, you grew up in Delphi 2, cause of death, impalement. Right, well, let's say goodnight to everyone, Kiwi.
Keeping the realm secure as ever, right?
We are, Mom.
Take care, Mother.
Cerberus cannot be bothered at this time.
Unless he gets pets.
Everybody knows exactly how to give you pets and live to tell of it, right, boy?
Anyway, the topic of conversation for this build was weird, but I think it was thematically appropriate given how we were just having everyone fall in love and fight with each other.
Your infamy throughout Elysium has only grown.
Forgive me if my commentary on menstrual pain is maybe a little bit out of touch. I mean,
Orpheus made the board.
I try to treat it with delicately, but I'm going to acknowledge my own inexperience, my own lack of nuance in the conversation topic.
This is my latest haul.
And more than anything, it's hard to
wisely, my friend.
properly convey thoughts about stuff that you're just not really familiar with or don't fully understand.
Your parentage need not be secret any longer, Zagreus.
Especially when it's divided between conversation and gameplay.
Let us communicate again some other time.
Even if the gameplay was relatively brainless, I still have to think and interpret while I'm talking, and there are things that I can easily talk about, like my passion for creation, my joys of video games and anime.
New details of another prophecy.
And there are things that I cannot well describe and well explain with my thoughts divided.
Not quite there.
Okay, well, with all that said, Mom and Kiwi, I hope you have enjoyed watching this episode. And for Kiwi...
Sure could go for somebody just wailing away on me right now.
You're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you. I will see you in the next one for some more Hades fun.
Got me good.